Hey, my name is PolishLynx and welcome to the third episode of Red Spider2 Exiled. So, we shall continue this. Because it's getting more and more interesting. Actually, I've been thinking if this one is longer compared to the first one or not. But I don't know. Okay, after being contacted by Zhang Lei, Ramro 1 turned up in the hotel lobby. So, what is it that I should be waiting for here? Actually, that's Spider. Sense. Red Spider2 Exiled. Let's see if there is anything about it. Okay, so the first one is 105,000 words. The second one is 200,000 apparently. Okay. I don't think it was that long. Anyway. So what is it that I should be waiting for here? We should get a phone call in a bit. From who? You could say they're a friend of mine. She was the one who identified the attacker. She? Your friend is a woman? Yeah, but she's tough stuff. An ordinary guy wouldn't stand a chance against her. I'd like to see her in action! There is a girl in macro like that too. Was Rammer 1 talking about the traitor who Lucas was trying to save? Listening to the two men converse, Wolf wondered if that was the case. Leading my shoulder to Dell, we headed for number 7's house. Surprised, one of the number 7's guys ushered us in. I brought her to you as fast. No, number 7 couldn't hide his surprise at what he saw in front of him. How on earth did we bring her all this way? They whispered to me. They're asking you why you came with me? She said you paid 3 times as much as Jean Clay does. They rolled her eyes at my reply. Interesting. Number 7 looked curiously in my direction. So you're motivated by money too? You can speak Mandarin, can you? I was impressed. I ran a business work with Chinese migrants. The aged brothers would be far better off trading with me. So that was it. What he said did make some sense. But Zhang Lei was unlikely to trust someone who was only motivated by money. Unlike for him, but I thought it was unlikely that Zhang Lei would ever trade with number 7. So saying that you'd be willing to work for me if I paid well? I'm interested, but I need to get some of that money up front. I made her practically useless in her line of work. I need to compensate Dell for the injuries I gave her. I went in Dell's direction. Is that what she's saying true? Yeah, she shot me my thumb off. I guess I got what I deserved for being a traitor. With this injury, I have no choice but to resign. Oh dear, I'll be sad to see you go. I was hoping to have you keep working for me for a while. You've got her instead of me now, so you'll be fine. Make the most of her and work her hard. Looking back at me, number 7 handed the wad of money to Dell. Take this, it was a redundancy sum from me. They took the money without counting it. Thank you. Right, I'll be seeing you then. You're not going to count it? Number 7 seemed dubious. Do you think I can count money with my thumb in the state it's in? Dale showed him her bandaged thumb. Or lack of it. And my leg injury is bad enough that I need to see a doctor immediately. If you don't believe me, do you want to see for yourself? With that, Dale began to unravel the bandage from around her palm. Under the bloated bandage was a ghastly open wound where her thumb had once been. Number 7 unconsciously wrinkled up his face. Sorry for doubting you. You should get yourself to a hospital quickly. I rebandaged Dale's thumb. Or lack of it. Looking straight at me as she left, Dale whispered to me. Good luck. Good luck to you as well! Number 7 looked over at me. Right. Now the first thing I want to do is talk with your boss. Can you call him? I guess. Doing as I was told, I called Jean-Clay and handed the phone to number 7. Jean-Clay's phone starts ringing. Lily? Taking the call, Jean-Clay's expression changed suddenly and he glanced over at Wolf momentarily. Wolf said nothing, keeping a cool face. Putting the call on speaker, Jean-Clay set the phone on the table. So as I said, I have your woman. If you want me to return her, kill Ramrowan and bargain with me instead. At the sound of voice on the telephone, Ramrowan whispered in a small voice. Number 7. Who are you? I'm not telling you my name yet. But call me when you've killed Ramrowan. Number 7 hung up the phone without waiting for a reply. He said he's got my accomplice. Who's he talking about? There was a hint of anger in Jean-Clay's voice. Ramrowan was the one being directly targeted, but Wolf thought it sounded like he was being blamed for having used licorice as bait too. Evidently, it was one of my guys that did this. Ramrowan replied in a matter-of-fact tone. I'm so sorry, make sure we get your subordinate out of there. Wait, if you make a move openly, Lee's life will be in danger. I know that, so I'll send some of my guys over without me. With that, Ramrowan started making a phone call. Soon after she left number 7 house, Dale got a phone call from Ramrowan. Dale fumbled with the phone and eventually managed to take the call. Dale, number 7's just jilted us. He's holding a member of the aged brothers hostage. Can I get you to go in and rescue them? I'm sorry. I got injured while I was doing some investigating. I won't be able to do that. You're injured? Are you okay? It's nothing life-threatening, but I won't be continuing in this line of work with these injuries. What on earth happened? Have you been to see a doctor? Do you need to be picked up? The way Ramrowan didn't doubt the thing she said and instead worried first and foremost about her safety made Dale regret ever betraying him. Dale hesitated momentarily but continued to speak. The woman the aged brothers are looking for is being held at number 7's house. She could hear a sense of urgency in Ramrowan's voice through the telephone. How do you know that? Just as she was about to reply, someone slit her throat. Dale, what happened? Sorry. Grabbing at her neck as blood spurted from the wound, Dale fell to the ground. So she was on their team after all. Taking the cell phone from her hand, the man ended the call. Dale thought to herself as she drifted in and out of consciousness. Lily, you were right. I wasn't suited to being an assassin. As the bills that fell from her pocket scattered around the ground, Dale took her last breath and passed away. After his call with Dale dropped out, Ramrowan hurriedly redialed her number. But Dale wouldn't pick up. What happened? Apparently your friend is at number 7's house. But my subordinate who told me that just was killed. Wolf's face took on a nervous expression. Hang on, was the person who just got killed an orphaned girl? That's right, but how do you know that? So she was fated to die even though Licorice went through all that effort to try and save her. And now your life's in danger because you tried to save her, Licorice. Shouldn't you know more than anyone that sympathizing with others unnecessarily could cost you your life? Hiding his frustration, Wolf replied. It was that girl that went behind you and took Lily to number 7's place. What? God damn it! Stuck enter key again. For heaven's sake! What? We were going to have her confess her treason to you directly. But Lee went to number 7's place with her so she could cover up for her. Jean-Claude's expression changed at Wolf's words. The fact that she was killing means they figured out what Lee's up to. Taking on a fierce expression, Jean-Claude leaned in towards Ramrowan. Lee's life is in danger now. We'll need to have you make up for this. Alright, I'll have my guys overthrow number 7's place immediately. I'll go too. Wolf stood up. Send someone here to provide security for Jean-Claude. At those words, Jean-Claude stood up as well. I'm going to. Wolf stopped Jean-Claude. No, you wait here. If you're there, Licorice can't perform to her full potential. Huh? Jean-Claude glared silently at Wolf. Looking back and forth between the two of them, Ramrowan spoke up. So we should send security here to protect Jean-Claude? Please do. Got it! After responding to Wolf, Ramrowan turned to Jean-Claude. I guess it's not exactly in place for you, but I'll go. I'll do whatever I can to bring your friend back. Alright. A man entered the room. It was the sniper from the other day. What is it, Ren? Ramrowan knows what you're up to. What? Now told Ramrowan what you were doing, that woman's decoy. Shocked, number 7 looked at me. The gun and knife I'd had in my bag had been taken from me. I wrapped my fingers tightly around the key in my pocket. Number 7 yelled something in Thai. Right at that second I kicked my chair away, leaped onto the table and ran straight for number 7. Jumping off the table, I kicked him to the ground and holding him to the floor, stabbed him in the neck with my key. The man who started moving towards me stopped all at once. But I couldn't reach his carotid artery with only the key. Ren pressed his gun to my head. So close yet so far away. I killed Dale, but Ramrowan's most likely going to send a bunch of guys over to deal with us. You're going to have to make the most of this woman, number 7. I mentally prepared myself to die. If I ended up being of use as hostage, there was no point in me being there in the first place. Not bothered by the gun pressed against the back of my head, I pulled the key out. I wrapped my hands around number 7's neck and began to strangle him. If either one of us died, there'd be no need for a hostage anymore. Shocked, Ren hit me with the butt of his gun and tried to pull me away from number 7. Ignoring him, I continued to strangle number 7. That was the teaser? Stun gun. Not teaser, stun gun. All of a sudden I must have been hit by a stun gun. Suddenly a shock ran through my body and my vision started to fade. There is no one more difficult to manage than someone prepared to die. I guess that's true. I mean, probably. I blacked out. Once I regained consciousness, I realized my hands had been tied behind my back and I was lying on the floor. There were several men scattered throughout the room to protect number 7. Ren was one of them. Number 7 noticed that I had regained consciousness. Where have you come to? I was surprised you stopped me, but you're pretty good at your game. It'd be ways to kill you. Won't you work under me like Ren? I was taken back by the way number 7 was calmly attempting to recruit me, only moments after I had stabbed him in the neck. Following on from number 7 words, Ren now spoke to me. You weren't with the Aged Brothers guys when they arrived in Bangkok. You're with a different group to the Aged Brothers anyway, aren't you? If you're a free agent, you wouldn't do badly working under this guy. You only have to take on what you're paid properly for. There's no other strings attached. I see! So that's why you're employed by this guy. I replied. Those conditions do sound attractive, but I don't kill on behalf of others anymore. So you're saying no one ordered you to kill those guys yesterday? Yeah, I did all that of my own accord. If you're not controlled by money or group, how do you intend to take on work to deal with all your bad karma? Well, I'm the only one person that exerts any control over myself. I accept any and all seen as my own. Don't you think that bloodthirsty monsters like us need to be tied to something? Speak for yourself. I'm not bloodthirsty. You just don't know yet. Ren muttered to himself and turned to number 7. Give it up. This woman is a goddess of death. Technically, if someone called me that, I mean maybe not a goddess of death, but if a man is called god of death, shit, that's some nickname. That's some nickname. We won't be able to control her. Number 7 looked down me in contempt. That's a shame. There's nothing more dangerous than someone who won't be motivated by money. Bullshit. I guess we'll just have to have you killed once you've fulfilled your role as a hostage. Ren spoke to me again. If you understand what I just said, make sure to beg for a lie before you're killed. No thanks, I don't follow anyone orders now. So you're not even attached to your own life anymore? Ren sighed. How pitiful. Around the time, Rammer 1's crew arrived at number 7's house. Fighting broke out between them and number 7's men, who had been ready and waiting for them. If you're going to surrender, now's the time to do it. I won't be going easy on anyone who puts up a fight. Rammer 1 yelled as he took his opponents down with his own hands. I'll go in ahead. With that, Wolf ran further into the house alone. I could hear the sound of fighting in the distance. Rammer 1 and his guys must have arrived. Looks like it started. Number 7 muttered to himself. Even if you don't particularly want to live, you'd better do a good job of being your own as our hostage. Ren said as much while pressing a gun to my head. There was no time. If I dislocated my thumb, I'd be able to loosen the ropes that bound me. But being watched by Ren, I wasn't going to be able to move quickly. Suddenly a dog whistle sounded. It meant Wolf must be getting closer. Ren noticed the dog whistle as well, and while he was looking at the door, I quickly dislocated my thumb and loosened the ropes. The dog whistle from earlier should be followed by another. I waited for the second signal. I heard a second dog whistle. I slipped myself out of the rope, squeezed my tightly closed curl into a ball, and after wrapping my arms around my head, I covered my ears. The door flew open and everyone in the room turned and looked at the doorway. The stun grenade detonated. Growls could be heard throughout the room. Opening my eyes, I stood up. Everyone in the room had fallen to the ground, their hands covering their eyes and ears. You don't have a spare weapon, do you? Seeing Wolf nearby, I called out to him. Noticing me, Wolf handed me a gun. I mean, it's not like there are shitton of guys with weapons laying around, right? You sure? You're better with guns than me, aren't you? I mean, again, it's not like there are a freaking shit ton of people lying around after getting hit by that grenade. And you know, I bet there are no weapons to them. Like, they were prepared to fight barehanded. Definitely. And laughed knowingly at Wolf's brusque response. First and foremost, we need to deal with Ren and number 7. That sniper's here somewhere. Be careful! Wait, wasn't he in the same room? I'm pretty sure he was in the same room. But whatever. I spoke to Wolf. While glancing around me, I couldn't see Ren and number 7 amongst other collapsed guys. I wondered if Ren had grabbed number 7 and made an instant escape, and whether they were hiding in a shadow somewhere. Behind you! Turning around at Wolf's voice, I could see the 2 men hiding in the shadows behind the sofa. At that exact moment, one of them stretched out their arm and shot a bullet at me. But it seemed they weren't looking in the right direction, as the bullet missed me by a mile. As I flicked the gun out of their hands, Wolf ran to the sofa and knocked it over. Number 7 Ren, who was protecting him, had been sitting huddled behind the sofa. Placing my foot on top of the sofa, I pointed my gun at number 7. Yo. You should have killed me earlier on! Either way, I never managed to make the most of you, did I? Number 7 smiled. And I guess that was his last smile. Shooting him squarely between the eyebrows, number 7 collapsed without another word. Letting go of number 7, Ren turned towards me. Kill me, I deserve to be killed by a deaf goddess like you. But the day will come when you understand what I said earlier. And when you do, it will be too late for regrets. Before I could reply, Wolf slit Ren's throat. Don't bother, Licorice, with your stupid curses. Wolf took off his sunglasses and looked at me. We're the only ones who know ourselves. Alright, I think I'll be good for that. Ignore whatever this guy said. With that, Wolf slipped his sunglasses back on. Right, shall we start cleaning up? The men who had been groaning and collapsed on the floor earlier were beginning to stand themselves up again. Back to back, Wolf and I massacred the guys from both sides as they approached. Without even saying a word, we were completely in sync. I'd never felt this kind of invisible connection with anyone other than Wolf. Once the majority of the guys were down, Wolf spoke to me. I'm gonna cut off number 7's head. I'm leaving the rest of the guys up to you. With a single bullet I put an end to the last guy who'd been trying to approach Wolf from behind. Cut off his head, that's some... That's some measures. The room was silent by the time Wolf stood up with number 7's severed head in his hands. Wolf smiled as he looked at me, covered in the enemy's blood. That's the Licorice I know, I'm relieved. But there is no way we could let Jean Clay see you like this. He wanted to come, but I'm glad I didn't let him. It must be tough having such a militant boss and having to deal with him when you join in on the fight just to save a girl or something. I sympathize with Wolf. He's impossible. For despite having worked for him for years, this is the first time I've seen him so obviously attached to a woman. Really? Yeah, I don't know what it is about you that's got him so captivated, but... if you're okay with it, why don't you join the Aged Brothers? You'd probably suit the position of boss wife more than you'd think. I laughed off Wolf's suggestion.
Ha! It's no joke. There is no way I could handle being stuck in a position like that.
I can't think of anyone other than you who would turn down a position like that just because they want to keep their freedom. Wolf grinned. In that case, stick with us a little longer. Once we take this guy's head to the new moon boss, this whole thing will be over. Your boss is right, give up resistance. As Wolf emerged in the corridor holding number 7's head high up in the air, a man at the end of the corridor turned and looked toward us.
Number 7's dead! Stop the fighting!
The man yelled something in Thai and all the others began to lower their weapons. Silence fell over the building. The man walked over to us and extended his hand to Wolf.
Thanks for help.
Is that the woman? Are you okay? The latter half of his sentence seemed to be directed at me.
I'm fine. None of this blood is mine.
Whoops! Ramon muttered to himself.
I'm glad you're safe. Sorry about what Tao did. Not at all. I'm sorry to hear she was killed.
A downcast expression came over Ramrowan's face at my words. Jean-Clay and I will take things through. For now, we'll take you to the hotel. The H.H. brothers and New Moon successfully completed their deal. Apparently Ramrowan said he would look after Deu's younger brother.
The reason Ramrowan offering to look after your brother is because he's the kind of guy that doesn't use money to control people.
I muttered the words to Deu in my mind.
Nice.
Too bad that happened. On my way to the hotel to have dinner with Jean-Clay, I realized I had left my gun at number 7's house. Regardless of where it was, I was uncomfortable without a gun in hand, despite being on the run. That said, I couldn't just have Ramrowan get me one.
I guess you won't be coming back here for a while once you return to Hong Kong.
I asked Jean-Clay over dinner. Probably, but why? Don't you want to be separated from me? So I couldn't have Wolf bring me back some weapons either. I couldn't do anything about it. I guess I had to go back to Hong Kong for a bit.
I remember that I left something in Hong Kong. I'll go back temporarily with you.
For some reason, Jean-Clay looked relieved. You're more than welcome. I was planning on leaving tomorrow morning, but do you want me to delay it a bit?
That won't be necessary. We've just been staying at a cheap hotel and don't have much luggage to speak of, so I can leave anytime.
In that case, why don't you stay here tonight?
Didn't I tell you I'm not into letting strangers overhear my pillow talk?
I'm not telling you to sleep in my bed. I'll have Wolf sleep on the sofa or something. Or you can share with Wolf if you like. Jean-Clay's suggestion took me by surprise. Did Jean-Clay know about Wolf and I? Seeing my frown, Jean-Clay quickly continued. Anyway, I was joking. I don't like listening in on other people's pillow talk myself. So there's something else I want to talk to you about. Can you join me in my room after this for a bit?
No!
I ended up accompanying Jean-Clay to his room.
What?
You said you're going to get something you forgot, but will you come back to Thailand?
I don't know. I'm getting a bit sick of Thailand, so maybe I'll go to another country or something.
Sounds like you're living quite an easy life, not tied to anything.
Are you jealous?
I grinned as I replied, and all of a sudden Jean-Clay's expression turned serious. If you don't have any plans in particular, why don't you stay at my place, I guess, for a while? He was suggesting this again? Recalling that Wolf said that I was the first woman he'd seen Jean-Clay so attached to, I suddenly want to ask why.
Why have you gotten yourself so attached to one particular hostess? I wouldn't think you're short for choice.
It's not me that's attached to you. Apparently Wolf is interested in you. I instinctively shot back at Jean-Clay's unexpected statement.
Him?
He's always been popular with women, but it's unusual for him to take just one particular woman. What do you think of him? I wasn't sure whether Wolf had left us alone on purpose, but either way he wasn't in the room. I was sure he would never have expected this topic to come up in our conversation.
Nothing particular. We've only just met, you know.
Jean-Claude chuckled at my shocked response. You don't need long to figure out whether you're good match or not.
I never expected you to be such a romantic. I don't make a habit of getting involved with dangerous guys.
A mean expression came over Jean-Claude's face at my sharp report. So you're saying I'm not dangerous? That wasn't quite the response I had been expecting. I wonder if Jean-Claude was just using Wolf as a way to have some fun himself. If that was the case, the easiest way to snap him out of his momentary attachment was to give him my body.
We haven't slept together in a while, so if you want to sleep with me, you can just tell me straight up.
Standing up, I walked over, sat on Jean-Claude's lap, and placed my hands on his shoulders. Welcome in advance, Jean-Claude placed both hands firmly on my hips. Right at the moment, Wolf knocked on the door, and we quickly separated. That was unfortunate. Let's continue this at my place later, wink wink. So it looked like I was going to end up being taken to Jean-Claude's house anyway. I was essentially amazed by how crafty Jean-Claude really could be. Opening the door, Wolf walked in. He stopped as he noticed me in the room. So you're here too. Hang on, I didn't drop something good, did I? No, that's a problem. He's going to be returning to Hong Kong with us tomorrow. So she'll be staying with me for a while. Surprised, Wolf looked over to me. Look, can you check out your recommendation and stay here tonight?
I guess I could do, but...
In that case, do it. That will make things easier tomorrow. Wolf shrugged at Jean-Claude's words. Are you saying I should stay out tonight then?
That's not necessary.
You can just sleep on the sofa tonight. Okay. I stood up.
I'll head back to my accommodation and get my things ready.
Alright, I'll be waiting here. I left Jean-Claude's room. I don't know if I should be expecting the end now or not, but I feel like yes. You did a good job seducing Licorice. Wolf spoke in a dissatisfied tone of voice once Licorice left the room. You should be at ease now too, right? Jean-Claude was as nonchalant as ever. Why me? You were worried about her being chased, weren't you? It would be a lie to say I wasn't worried. But I don't think the web would go as far as to send someone all the way to Thailand to hunt her down. Isn't returning to Hong Kong even more dangerous? Jean-Claude replied pointedly. So you're happy to just up and leave her after finally reuniting after all those years? What do you mean? You're not the honest type, are you? I've known you for a long time too, but this is the first time I see you treat someone the way you treat her. The way you treat her, what? What are you talking about? You used Licorice a bit, didn't you? Knowing how you generally don't trust people, I was surprised to see you use her like that. That's because I know how able she is from assassin school. She's in her own league. But Licorice never acts like that when I'm around. Jean-Claude's voice surprised Wolf. Hang on, you're not jealous, are you? If you told her outright that you were an officer in the web, I think she'd stop hiding that side of herself. I don't know. If I told her that I've got a feeling she'll decide not to go back to Hong Kong with us. Why did she even want to go back in the first place? I don't know. All I heard was that she wanted to go back to get something she forgot. So it's not that you seduced her? Fortunately not. And I don't think Licorice trusts me much either. I'm pretty sure you're the only one she trusts. The only reason she went out of her way to tell me that she's going back to Hong Kong is because of you, right? Did she say that? No, but why don't you ask her yourself? Either way, I'm not so stupid enough to go after my boss, woman. She's not my woman. Really? Even more than that, for what I don't understand is why you're so fixated on this one girl. I've got my own connection with Licorice. Jean-Claude spoke quietly. But I'm pretty sure she does know about it, and it does mean anything now anyway.
What are you talking about?
I just want to help the two of you maintain a good relationship.
That's not like you.
Wolf shook his head in disbelief. Do your best to support her. What I can do directly, I leave up to you.
Alright. Suspicious.
Having checked out of my own accommodation, I returned to Jean-Clay's room with my luggage. Just as Jean-Clay had said, Wolf ended up sleeping on the sofa and I was given the bed. Wolf had been speaking so far. Feeling thirsty in the middle of the night, I got up to get a glass of water, only to feel Wolf grab at my arm as I passed him lying on the sofa.
Why did you suddenly decide you want to go back to Hong Kong?
Wolf whispered in a low voice as he sat up. I explained that I had left my gun at number 7's house.
What? That's your reason?
I thought you'd reignited the romance with Jean-Clay or something. Wolf slumped back into the sofa disappointedly. I said to keep Wolf company for a bit.
Why is Jean-Clay trying to keep me with him?
Lying down and staring at the ceiling, Wolf replied.
Apparently he wants to set us up.
He what?
I was so shocked that I struggled to keep my voice quiet.
You're not particularly interested in me, for right? It's Jean-Clay who's your client.
Our relationship as client and customer ended once I quit my job at the bar for. Jean-Clay is nothing more than an old client to me.
So you risk your life to say someone who was just an ex-client?
I thought about it again.
If that was all there was to it, I wouldn't have gotten this involved. The reason I ended up agreeing to be a decoy was because you persuaded me. I wouldn't put my life on the line if there wasn't a good chance that we would win. You only went with this strategy because you thought you'd have a chance of winning if you were working with me, right?
I guess that's true.
Wolf muttered a response.
You took the initiative to come save me after I went in as a decoy. Do you think Jean-Clay misunderstood that and that's why he thinks you're interested in me?
I explained what Jean-Clay had said earlier and Wolf nodded his head in understanding.
I see. That explains his behavior then.
I thought that Jean-Clay was just using you as an excuse to have some fun himself.
Yeah, I never expected Jean-Clay to be into pimping girls.
Your employer really is quite the meddler. He must be pretty fond of you.
It's true that Jean-Clay and I have known each other for a long time. But it's the first time something like this happened.
I guess it makes sense that you'd be confused too then.
I sympathized with Wolf having to deal with such a nosy boss.
So he's trying to take me to his place just so he can set the two of us up? What a meddler!
Well, if you think that you're probably being chased, staying at Jean-Clay's place isn't a bad option. You should make the most of it.
Wolf grabbed my wrist again.
Why don't you just work for the aged brothers with me?
I can't do that! I don't ever want to go back to being someone else's tool. Working with you under Jean-Clay would mean having to do just that.
Then what are you planning on doing from here on? Are you going to spend the rest of your life with your fangs hidden?
I wasn't sure how to respond.
You can't stay as you are for. You will start seeking to murder again eventually. That's what we've been trying to do.
I recalled what Ren had said earlier.
Don't you think that bloodthirsty monsters like us need to be tied to something?
So even Wolf would the same way as Ren had.
I'm not the kind of bloodthirsty killer that just kills recklessly for the sake of killing. It's true that I've killed more people than I could count. But I don't regret what I've done at all. Because I knew they were all fools. I see it as fighting evil with evil. And I plan on continuing to draw my knife in order to do from here on too. But the goal is never killing an end of itself.
Wolf's expression relaxed at my words.
Huh. What we're always seeking isn't the blood of others. It's our own death. I didn't understand what Wolf meant. Wolf sighed, seeing my questioning expression. So you don't get it yet? Either that, or am I the only one seeking my own death? Raising his head, Wolf stared at me. But Licorice, you're not alone. If you ever feel a loneliness that you think no one could ever understand, remember me. Wasn't it him that was feeling a loneliness that he thought no one else could understand? That is the feeling I got from what Wolf said. And perhaps Jean-Claude had sensed that loneliness in Wolf.
Thanks, I'm going to get some rest for tomorrow now. Sorry for waking you up.
With that I got up.